Hi there, I'm McKeel Haggerty, and we are in Singapore at the 2018 YPO Edge. And the theme this year is Defy Convention. We have 2,800 attendees from 93 countries around the world, and it's been an amazing first day at the Edge. And I am, of course, here with NK Tong, the chair of the Edge, and the architect of this whole program. NK, amazing.
Thank you.
Share with us a little bit what you were thinking about putting this whole roster of amazing resources together.
Thanks, McKeel. You know, it's been a 15-month journey, and to be frank, I was intimidated when I started, but the global community of members have just come forward and supported us with amazing speakers. We have 48 speakers, 47, 48, of which 40% of them are women. So when we picked the theme Defy Convention, we had 3 content pillars: diversity, inspiration, and aspiration. And I think hopefully we delivered that today. So, you know, when you look at the speakers today, what struck you about these?
Well, I think all of that. I mean, we saw, really amazing, not just examples of, but stories of and lessons in diversity and inclusion in many of the sessions that I think that the whole membership can learn a lot. We were inspired, and I think we can aspire to some new heights here.
Right.
So it's National Women's Day. Right?
That's right. International Women's Day. Yeah.
Which is very cool. So it coincides with the diversity theme.
Yeah.
One of the sessions I thought was pretty amazing was Orit Kadesh, right? Chairman of Bain. Really extraordinary session on not only women in the workforce, but moving towards how further inclusion makes businesses more successful. Fantastic feedback from that session.
You know, it's interesting because we didn't script any of this, right? But it turns out that, her session, and then we led on to breaking stereotypes. Everyone knocked the nail on the head that said diversity, it's now measurable, that it leads to more profitability.
Yeah, it's about challenging power and embracing performance, right?
Yeah.
It's not about diversity. It's about, we want to get better. And we know that in YPO is that, the best performing organizations of any kind have more diverse perspectives. And it's about challenging ourselves to take the blinders off and to look at those things. And by diversity, we just mean including lots of thought, lots of discussion into it. So that was an absolutely awesome session. Of course, you also planned a bunch of concurrent sessions.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about how we had the main stage and then concurrent sessions?
Well, we have programmed over 2 days, 10 hours of learning, okay? So each day we bookend an hour and a half, first thing in the morning and last thing in the afternoon for the main plenary sessions. And then we have 1 hour sessions on either side of lunch, late morning and early afternoon, where members can choose concurrent sessions. And we have 33 concurrent sessions over 2 days, featuring 21 unique topics, of which you can only choose 4. So I'm curious, which did you choose today?
Well, I went to a couple of the. I was trying to go to all of them as usual. I'm an overachiever. I can't stand just being limited to 4.
Yeah.
But some of them that were very highly attended. In fact, I think the highest one was Annie Sarnblad, with interpreting microfacial expressions.
Yes.
Fascinating. And you did a further interview.
On Facebook.
On Facebook, so some people can take a look at that. How you can become a disruptive innovator. Again, 2 of our fantastic female resources jumped in there. The mindfulness session, Frank Ostaseski.
Yes.
I've read his book, actually, which is a fantastic, and I'm really excited, talking about how life is impermanent,
Right.
and that you can be a lot happier if you start accepting those things.
Well, I don't want to give too much away, but Frank is going to be on this stage tomorrow in front of 2008, and he's going to talk about what death teaches. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But if I have one resource that really struck me, was what Karim Koja talked about. Not only was his business for profit and for purpose, but it was at very high cost to personal safety. And that's incredible that he's so driven to do this for the community.
Yeah, I mean, in the spirit of learning, a theme that I heard come up in several sessions and just in concurrently is, Larry Fink from BlackRock, his letter.
Yeah.
The famous letter now is starting to inform a lot of our speakers about that there is this business success is multidimensional now. Shareholder profit, the bottom line, driving shareholder value is a measure. It's important, but all of these other factors come into play. and it really came alive on the stage and in the sessions today.
Yeah, fantastic.
Let's see, what else did you have that you like? Oh, we had a fantastic performance
Yes,
from
I was
going to
say you're the guitarist, so tell us about that.
Oh no, our young ukulele player,
Yes,
right? I've
yes.
never seen anything like
Yeah.
it. I mean, you wouldn't imagine that a ukulele could be played with such phenomenal skill.
Yeah.
So it was truly incredible.
Well, Feng Yi is only 11 years old, and he still plays by ear. He's only starting to read music. So incredible talent, yeah. And what I encourage our CEO leaders is to instill some of that passion, discipline, and also humility that he comes with. Yeah.
So tell us how we finished the day. What was our big build-up towards the end of the day?
Okay. So we had, of course, the Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, Prime Minister of Singapore, and he shared a very open discussion with our moderator Paddy Sellers. Yeah. How did you find that?
Well, it was great, and I had the good fortune of being able to walk in with him and share a few words. But what he just blew me away, and it was so interesting. Obviously, a great presence,
Yep.
and obviously the son of Lee Kuan Yew,
That's right.
and so very historic, important family. And what I loved his point, and I think it wraps a lot of this idea of defying convention, focus on longevity, not immortality.
Yes. Yeah.
And the one lesson he learned from his father that I just absolutely loved, which is safeguard Singapore, but make it better.
Yeah.
How awesome is that?
Yeah, very forward-looking, and remember his final conclusions. It was one of inclusiveness. The whole world has to learn to get along with each other, and then everyone can share in plenty.
Awesome. So some great themes here today. All of these sessions will be available on the YPO source, so people will be able to go in depth and look at each of them. And more to come tomorrow, and then we'll do a big wrap-up. So
Great.
thank you, NK.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Awesome.
All right.
Great job.